Then we got my guy, Mike Jones. Double salute to him. Thank you for your contribution and your support, Mike. Mike says, this question is for you. Victor, would you work with Errol Spence even though you called him out on Twitter for not taking a drug test?
Listen, Errol Spence did take drug tests. I'm not saying he didn't take drug tests. Okay. What I said specifically was when Earl said that, listen, I've been taking ever since Kell Brook, I've been doing VADA testing.
He said.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Earl doesn't know the difference between what USADA does and what VADA does and what the PBC does, and there were 3 fights. Okay. And I've said this publicly before, this isn't anything new, that I have criticized VADA enormously and publicly about. And these were the last 3 fights of Manny Pacquiao. And instead of doing the VADA protocol where they test all prohibited substances at all times, Al Heyman, in conjunction with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, got the commission to order the WADA protocol, which means that during training camp, they didn't test for 84 substances. So when Earl was going to fight Pacquiao before he had the eye injury and Ugas came in, that testing he was doing was not, quote, this is where the full VADA came in, is the 3 times that VADA did the testing for the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and they've done it a couple times for the California State Athletic Commission, where they used the weaker, less stringent testing protocol under WADA code because it was being ordered and likely paid for by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. I don't think Errol Spence knew what he was doing. They show up, they draw blood, so I don't think that Earl had any intent to cheat. I think he was doing blood testing throughout. He just didn't know whether he was doing the stringent or the non-stringent version, but he was willing to give his blood. Now, there are a few times, and I cited earlier, where I've had to chase him around, like the Mikey Garcia fight, when I wouldn't let Mikey come to the training camp until they were both enrolled. And I went public and I was after him on Twitter and everything else saying, why will you not enroll? Why will you not enroll? I think based on what he told me in a private response on Twitter, he wanted to know. He came out and said, we need to do 24/7, 365. We need to do hair testing. Go back, go look at the exchanges that I had with him. Once he said that, I went, oh my God, then he may be willing to do this. He came out publicly and tweeted this. Then I went to him and he came back and he said, tell me more, what's involved, blah, blah, blah. So we had some exchanges. My guess is thereafter, when he talked to Al Heyman about this, it was shut down completely because I didn't hear back from him thereafter.
Well, that's just, your assumption, but we don't know. But so the question becomes again, I'll make sure we get an answer from you. Would you work with Errol Spence?
I don't think Errol Spence would work with me.
Would you work with him?
I work with other PBC fighters, a whole bunch of them, at least a half a dozen.
Would you work with Errol though?
I think Earl's a good guy. I don't dislike Errol.
No, I didn't say did you like him. I said would you work with him?
Times when I was even chasing him and I saw him at a fight and he was standing out on the street and I walked up to him and shook his hand and talked to him. I don't have any animosity. I think he's being controlled by Al Heyman and PBC, and he's doing what they tell him to do. And I don't think they're ever going to allow him unless he was like a fighter like Barrios or Julian Williams or other snack fighters that are also with PBC. When they want to do it and they stand up and they say, we want this, and they demand it as a part of the deal, I don't think Earl's going to do that.
But I mean, if he did,
I think I can't say that I wouldn't. Sometimes it's difficult when you've got people like Porter and Crawford fighting each other, and you're helping both of them. That requires a lot of trust. And how that went down is I talked to Sean about it. He went and talked to his dad, Ken. He came back. He said he was good with it. I went to Bud, and he said, let the best man win. Let's roll. So they both trusted me to have all this inside information about each fighter and be helping both of them like they were my 2 sons. And it also happened before, and there's pictures of both of them in the ring with Crawford standing up and Porter on the ground, both wearing snack. It happened also when Andre fought Willie Nelson. And they were both training at the snack gym, and one would come in the morning and one would come in the afternoon. And then when they fought, of course, Andre knocked Willie out, and there's a picture of Andre with a patch on standing over him and Willie on the ground with a patch being knocked out. So I have worked with two fighters, and they fought each other in relatively large fights.
We've seen that in the snack program works, like I've been saying. Derek Jimenez, double salute to you, Derek. Thank you. He says, salute, Manager Marty. Glad to see you getting Victor on here. This is great content.